Welcome everybody. Today we're going to be doing viewer questions, and today's viewer questions are going to deal with Earth Day 2020. So Beaker, you see the questions over there behind you? No, I think they're right in the white thing. Yeah, bring me those questions. Okay, thank you, my dear. Alrighty, so today for the first question, okay, Miss Vivilis asked, as well as Mr. Terryberry, why is the sky blue? Well, air is clear. I don't see any color here, it's all clear. Outer space is black, so why is the sky blue? Beaker, can you bring the whiteboard, please? Yeah. Thank you, my dear. Okay, so the light we see is called visible light. That's a light that we see. Now, when you see a rainbow, visible light gets broken up into all these different colors. Those colors are the name of the gentleman, Roy G. Biv. And the letters in Roy's name stand for the colors of the rainbow in the exact order that they go in. So you have red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Now with these light waves, okay, when they travel through the air, sometimes they can bounce off of something. So Beaker, do you know why your shirt looks green? Any idea?
Because it's the color of the grass?
Well, no, not because it's the color of the grass. Is what happens is all these lights, all these colors, all of them hit Beaker's shirt. But what happens is R-O-Y, Roy, and then Biv, all of those colors are absorbed by the shirt. And G, green is reflected back. That's why when we look at Beaker's shirt, we see the color green. So that's what it deals with why the sky looks blue. Air, as you know, do you remember what is matter?
The space of an object?
Okay, very good. You got the space. Also, how much stuff makes up that object. So air is matter. It's made up of little tiny particles, okay? And with these particles, they fill the entire atmosphere that surrounds the Earth. So as the light from the sun comes towards the Earth, we have all of these colors traveling from the sun to the Earth. Now, when they hit the air, red, orange, yellow, and green, okay, those colors, they easily pass through the air. They pass through the little particles, the little pieces, the little molecules that make up the air. Blue has a shorter wavelength and a higher frequency. Because the wavelength is shorter, by that a wavelength is the up and down motion, so blue is like that, where red would be a long wave. So the blue and those colors, when they hit the air particles cause them to reflect and bounce off. So just like when we look at Beaker's shirt, all of the other colors get absorbed, but the green bounces off. With the sky, all the colors sort of pass through it and nothing happens to them, but the blue is getting bounced or reflecting off of the air particles, and that is what makes the sky appear blue. Now, when you have things like pollution and other stuff in the air, that will cause the color of the air to appear different, and even though it's mostly a negative, here in New York City, it does create beautiful sunsets as all the sunlight is passing through the air pollution. Okay, today the second question comes from Mr. Voges. Mr. Voges asks, why do we have less daylight in the winter and more daylight in the summer? Well, that's another question that deals with how the Earth is and how the Earth goes around the sun. Beaker, bring me the Earth, Sun, and the North Star. Thank you. So, Beaker will represent the North Star. We'll have Cinderella, her radiance will represent the sun. If I could get the sun to stay still. Okay, there we go. And Chuck E. Cheese is our wonderful planet Earth. Everybody loves Chuck E. Cheese. So with Chuck E. Cheese, we have planet Earth. And what we need the North Pole. Use the red stick for the North Pole. We'll stick that at the top. There you go, the North Pole. And then this little guy will represent New York City. And we'll put New York City. Uh-oh, there goes the sun.
He's from the Trolls movie.
We'll put the New York City right about there. It's not exactly, it should be closer to the equator than it is to the sun. So, why they call it the North Star is the North Pole always points to the North Star. So, in the summer, when the North Pole is pointing to the North Star, New York City is facing directly towards the sun. And a lot of sunlight hits the earth. And as the earth turns around, New York City spends a lot more time in the sunlight than it does in the darkness. Now in the winter, the North Pole still points to the North Star. So as the earth goes around, now you have New York City facing away from the sun. So the sun is hitting more the bottom half of the earth, not so much the top half where New York City is. So in a day, New York has a lot more darkness and a lot less sunlight. That's also why it's colder in New York. Now, as an interesting piece of information, just so you know, in the winter, the earth is 7 million miles closer to the sun than it is during our summer. So in the summer, we are further from the sun, but because we are facing the sun, it ends up being warmer. And everybody, please enjoy, have a happy Earth Day, and do take care. And remember, next week, we're starting a new unit, all dealing with forces and motions. Take care and have a great day.